Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, D-Funk. Thinking right out here in my lab, and I'm in the book, and we just rolling. I think we hit about chapter 9, I think where we at. Yep, chapter 9. We're going to talk about the Asarian resurrection, and then I'm going to break down the story of Heru and Seth. Let's go. Uh-oh, that's not good. Writers 25 rules to live by. Storytelling story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself or self-mastery. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? So let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? Well, when I'm through, that's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Maya be true. All right, let's get with the P-Funk's philosophy. We're going to get into the Asarian resurrection and the story of Heru and Seth. Now, if you do the studying, and I ain't got time to get the whole story, but check out Heru or Horus. Y'all call him Horus in Greeks. But this is Asar. This is Neptet. That's Aset. You can tell that the throne on Aset, she represents the throne. Neptet represents the inverted throne. Immortality, mortality. Nature, supernature. Okay, supernatural. So that's the concept. Let's talk about what this, and this is our life story. This is the story that everybody adopts. We all have creation story, but this is one of the favorites. Let's go. It's the reason why. I'm gonna break it down for you. I just showed you a picture of Aset and that bewailing. When somebody died, they were the ones you called. Why? Because they would bewail like all the be. They were the professional mourners. You got the women who, that was them. Okay. And they mourned over the body of Asar, as they would later do over the same dead body of Heru. Now, Heru is the son of Asar. If you follow his story, it sounds real familiar to that other guy, so I'm going to leave that there. But Heru is the original spirit that's in me and you. It comes from the father, which was Asar. Asar and Ra are one. Asar is Ra in the physical form. This is the Asarian concept out of Egypt. That's their story. Let's talk about it. So it says here, whosoever know, oh, excuse me, whoa, from the, okay, that's just, I showed you the relief. I said, whosoever knoweth these things, being attached to his place, shall have his bread with Ra. That means if you live and do right, when you die, you go on and meet with Ra. The sign for Hotep, the bar with the food in the middle, that's what they show you. That bar is that God is present with your actions, and you can break bread with God. That's his sin right here. The whole concept that we was teaching is the idea to get you to know yourself, and getting to God was knowing yourself. I got a lesson that says, make you, oh, it's coming up. I got that. I ain't gonna go yet. It's in this lesson here. All right, let's go. But to know God means to know yourself. Whosoever knoweth himself, and these things, being soul and spirit, shall never enter the place of destruction. Meaning you can't die. When you become conscious of who you are, when you're conscious and your emotions and your knowledge of self is all intact, you know that the physical body will, but you can't. So it's telling you. But if you're ignorant of that, dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's talk about Heru, Ra, and Ptah. God was Amun, the hidden one. That's who Heru represents here. Okay, he's the hidden spirit that's inside of me and you. So, and Ra is the that the sun, the fire that's also inside of you. And Ptah, the self-created one, is also inside of you. See the 3 in 1, even in you. Let's talk about it. Heru is one of the most representations of the Neteru. Let me read you sign what I mean by they say netter. I forgot to get this lesson the last go around. I'm gonna sneak it in. You see here, this is the universal Ba. Neteru. Here, individual Ba. You see the falcon with your head? That's you, your individual Ba. You want to bring it back to here, where you're what? The universal Ba. That's the concept. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. And Heru comes from his father. He wants to go back home. Okay, the deciding factor is you. Can you get him back home? Okay, remember that. Where's Waldo nonsense? But the question is, where's Heru inside you? Once you realize that, you want to go back home to your dad. Neteru. And it represented by a falcon-headed deity. Now, the falcon is the one with the teardrop eye. That's, you can tell the difference between the falcon and the hawk. The hawk is when your spirit, like here, I showed you the first picture. That's the hawk. Why? It has your head on it. Okay? That's you. Your body. Your individual body. That's you. The concept of Heru, which is the falcon, he got the teardrop. Okay? He represents the cosmic concept of you. But that's also inside you. Your full potential, you become a bad man. Alright? So let's talk about it. It's represented by the falcon-headed deity, Netta. Heru encompasses all within his wingspan. Oh, the sign of the sun disk with the Uranus in the wings, that's Heru, the spirit. That's him in his full-blown glory. He's unbeatable when he reached that level. You're born to reach that level. That's your goal. And Heru is also what? The soul, which vivifies all life and existence. What that tell you? Come on now. Y'all give it to Christ, but you won't understand it where it comes from. This is the original. Listen. So, the ancient Sphinx was even called Heru in the horizon. Haramaket. Okay? Ptah and Ra are also forms of Heru, which is spirit. Please understand that. Is the spirit from the original. As stated in all scriptures, where Heru is referred to as the great Heru. He's been around a long time. Heru is represented in all periods of the Egyptian mythology. It goes back to commission concept and the various forms. I got a page here with a bunch of different Herus in different forms for future lesson, but we getting there. I'm walking through this, but I'm not giving every little thing. No, I'm cutting the fluff out. I'm giving all substance. All right, strictly meat and potatoes. All right, so let's go. So now we got Heru, who represented all periods of Egyptian mythology in various forms. So the name Ptah, okay, is written when it's written in hieroglyph. It's written with a human man separating heaven and earth. When I told you, this is heaven, this is new, this is earth, this is Gab. At one time, they was locked into each other, so could nothing be done. Shu, represented here by Heru, is what? Separating heaven from earth. That's what Ptah represents. Ptah, or PT, represents heaven. Ptah represents earth. So he's the one that in between heaven and earth. He's the supporter of heaven, okay? And he's the one that's pushing up. And he's represented by what? Air. Ain't nothing between heaven and earth now but air. And because their punishment for having engaging in the sexual frolic, and God said, take care of that. So now she'll forever look down, Newt, and Gab would forever look up, but they'll never get together again. And the rule was, God's punishment is forever. You might not want to be on the bad side of God. Why? Because it's going to be eternal. Moving on, that's why. And they understood that, and they took that serious. God-fearing. This is why they was God-fearing. Not they got, no. They know that if they don't do what they need to do, they got hell to pay. They knew that. Moving on. That's what it karma. Cause and effect. You reap what you sow. He's trying to tell you, you do good, get dealt with good. You do bad, you will get dealt with accordingly. Okay? We teach our children that. We as adults, we know that. But we said, well, we're grown. We can do what we want to do. Okay, but you're still responsible for a good act and a bad act. It may not be on school paper they're going to put on the dresser on the refrigerator because you got a good grade. But in life, it's still the same format. It don't change. That's what we do. We change things, but the system don't. Program don't. Moving on. So, Ptah, Neter, God, in essence, Heru, is what we call the supporter of earth and heaven. We got a story for that. We got a story pretty much for everything. But all the gods that we give you are aspects of your character. This is what we try to get you to understand. Master them and you master yourself. Know that there is, first of all, one God who manifests in many ways. Again, that's called the net earth. Those are the cosmic forces, the elements, air, fire, water, earth. That's all elements, okay? And are within us. Those same elements is in us and in all that is seen and unseen. The spirit is unseen. Air is unseen, okay? Physical stuff is seen, but some of the stuff is not. And the children of God, we have their powers, okay? They say that because that's our father and we the children. That means we are brothers and sisters. That's why they say, Asarian married his sister. I said, that was the concept back then. You remember, mythology, it ain't literal, okay? So stop with the whole head and says, no. Again, that Bible got y'all generation messed up, where everything got to be literal. No, understand the story. The story is to teach, to enlighten, to educate you. Not for you to say, did it really happen? They really did that? And miss the lesson. Let's go. So know that the same power that in the universe, we've been saying it for years, in the cosmos, is also in man, in the discussion. So therefore, as we learn about the cosmos, we learn about ourselves, essentially. And the more we learn about others, this is the reason why they got the zodiac. If I'm a Capricorn, I want to know about all the other signs. But I'm a mastermind first. And then I'll get to know about everybody else. That's called studying. It's called learning. It's called acquiring information and using it. And the more we learn about others through the zodiac sign, the more we learn about what? Ourselves again. How different we are. I'm a Capricorn. I know that. So in this manner, Heru, the spirit that's in you, is in reality Ra, Ptah, Min, Anpu, y'all know him as Anubis, and Asar. All this is a spiritual being. That's all that's qualities and characters that's inside your brain, that's inside you as an individual. And just like Asar, he is androgynous. The spirit don't need sex, male or female. It's the spirit. It's considered to be androgynous. Like Heru, all the guys and goddesses are androgynous. Needs everybody. And therefore, Heru is also Heru, one and the same. What? Yeah, again, see? We give it the identity. The spirit is the spirit. And he's also a set. See where I'm going with this, etc. Try to prepare you for that. So watch this. Even more importantly, Heru is also the hawk, which is your spirit, the ba, and the symbol of what we call eternal human soul. He's forever. He's like his father. He's going to live forever. You had that capability to become one with him, and that's how you go back to your father. Make yourself, this is what I did 30 years ago. Make yourself, you, the object of intense daily study. What'll happen? You will discover God. You see where we're going with that? When you make you intense study, focus, study, learn, and you will find God. Why? He's inside you. That's why. He ain't up there, out there, around the corner. He's inside. And when you realize that, you start to understand things a little bit different for yourself. And it's showing you how Shu is pushing up the earth to left. This is the picture here I showed you. That's Ptah. He's separating heaven from earth. He's the go-between. They got in Ruba, they got a guy called Legba. I love him. He's the guy that you made the deal with. He's the trickster guy. He's the one that promised you everything and don't do nothing. Okay, he's the trickster. He ain't real. He gonna pull it. But everybody wanted talent. Everybody wanted stuff. They go make a deal. That's gonna sell your soul to Legba. It's all here. Okay. Voodoo only works for those who believe in it. If you don't believe it won't work. Okay. So the Asarian resurrection. What you mean? That means the spirit, the physical body of Asar died. He went to judgment and passed the feather Mayat because he was a good dude. But now they say that. But if you read the passion of the story, depend as a teacher. I know a few variations of the story, so I can use it to my benefit. If I'm talking to young kids, I'm gonna keep it, GP. If I'm talking to consenting adults who understand, I can put, a little twist on it and make it exciting, a little more exotic and exciting. But and we're gonna do a night show. If I did the night show, it's gonna be X-rated, where I take a saw, that, and I set Menage a Trois. So that was another mindset. But yeah, that was the concept. But you can flip it any way you want. Like my man Mike Kanye tell a joke about the four guys, the Chinese man, Puerto Rican man, the white man, and black man. So they all up on the highest mountain in Kilimanjaro, whatever it is. And a Chinese man said, "This is for my people." He jumps off. Puerto Rican man said, "This is for my people." He jumps off. Black man said, "This is for my people." Picked the white man up and throw his ass over. He said, "Now, wait a minute, everybody. Now you can flip it depending on if you be the one throwing the one you don't like overboard." That's all. So this is the same thing, philosophy. You can use it pretty much any way you want. Like I said, just flip it. So I'm gonna be the nice version with this one. So let's go. Now, as previously discussed, we're gonna tell the story about Asar. Ra represents cosmic consciousness, that thing up in the sky. Represents the all. We had one pharaoh who wanted to call him Atum. He was the only god. He didn't last long, but they took that concept out. But which manifests what as the seen. Ra is seen. Amun is unseen. But universe and the cosmos. Asar is Ra where? But this what I'm trying to tell you. The first physical man was Asar. Why? He's Ra in material form. The spirit made matter. That's where we start from. That's why I like to keep that in concept. Why? Ra put Asar in physical form. He's inside it. When he died, he didn't leave him. They stayed together. He still live on in the underworld, afterlife we call it. But Heru, he represents the way to reach the Father, the Son. When I want to go back to see that guy. Why? That's why I aspire to see it, and that's the spiritual concept. We can put it in physical matter and use it to our benefit. But it says here, reach the Father, Ra, Asar, and Heru, both are aspects of the one God, Netheru. He's the one God becoming many, or we call him as the Nabercha. In India, he's called the All, the Absolute. Get the concept? All right. So as previously stated, though, the visual forms, the physical form, and identities we give them, and ideas presented to each of the gods were really created by our ancient sages. What? To help us to understand and get the lessons and learn the qualities of the characteristics of ourselves, aka God. Through what? Through the descriptions of various nether and the deities we call God and goddesses, elements and concepts that we can manifest from practicing them. The birth of Asar is the birth of Ra. Let's talk about what they call the passion. Now, this is the quick story of the story about Asar. I can do this without the book, but I'm going to use the book to get the point across. And I'm going to keep it GP. How about that? So it's called the Passion of Asar. Asar was the first king of Kemet. Asar taught the people agriculture, husbandry, husbandman. He established a code of laws, my philosophy, confessions, and bade all to what? Worship the gods. He laid the law down, so to speak. He set the concept. Okay. But one day, here's when it get little, this is when you can put the twist in it, depending on which way you want to go. One day through, they say lack of vigilance. Other people say he's at a party, so they give a bunch of, and whenever something bad going to happen, they setting you up. They saying through his lack of vigilance. Okay. He became intoxicated. There's always something that caused him, and he slept with Set's wife. Okay, his brother's wife. Now remember. And everybody asked the question, why Set kill his brother? Why the ego killed the spirit? We gave the story to justify it, and this is part of it. Okay? And when he slept with that, and as a teacher, I'm gonna teach the concept of spirit and matter. And spirit immortality brings on discernment. That's Ampu. That's the offset. That's the child that came from Asar and that. So the offspring between the spirit and nature is discernment. You're gonna need that aspect. So he was a needed concept. You put him in there. That's how you can slide him in. Okay, this is all for teaching purposes. It ain't literal. Stop making this. Stop with that. Learn the lesson. Get the plot. Get the meaning. All right, let me go ahead with the story now. Let me finish it out. But again, after the result of the indiscretion, the sexual encounter, Asar begot Ampu, or Anubis, as y'all know him. And Asar, lack of vigilance is the reason why that he allowed his passions to control him. Lower nature, little fella, got the best of him. Now, depending on how you want the story to go, in Asar's favor or you want to condemn him. They gave him the benefit of the doubt. He still passed the feather test of Mayat. So he's a good dude, just had that indiscretion, and they understand. They never say you got to be perfect. Just heart got to be light. Okay, got the concept? So one mistake don't mean you're going to hell. Okay, one bad decision don't condemn you forever. And that's what the religion try to teach you. One mess up and that's it, you're going to hell. Okay, story is to teach a lesson in life. This is a real life lesson. That's why I'm doing it. I got to get this out. I love this, my story. So Set, who represents the personification of what we call evil. That's the ego. That's the I. That's the me. That's the emotional part that stands on what he wants, how he wanted, and when he wanted. Those kind of people, those are egoistic people. And they acted out for their own ego. But he plotted out of jealousy and anger. That's the ego. And the blinding passion that prevents what? Forgiveness. Oh, we got to be forgiven. No, Set he ain't that type of dude. I'm with Set on that. I'm not forgiving at all. Okay, I'm very vindictive and don't think twice about it. Watch this. So Set figured out, I'm taking this out. He got to go. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it, and he was hell bent on that. So once you led by your evil side, the ego, where it's revenge, hell bent, won't let karma take her action, but you're gonna be karma. Okay, have at it. So he come up with a plan to usurp the throne, and he conspired to kill his brother. Okay, Asar, the king. Okay, he gonna take the throne. He gonna run Egypt. He gonna run the show. He gonna take over you. Okay, he about to kill your spirit and take over and become the egoistic person that he is. So Set secretly got his brother's measurements, put together a little coup, yada, 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 yada. Okay, not top of the story, but let's get there. He created a coffin. Jewels, bedazzled, gave a big party, but he wouldn't let the women come. It's an all men's party, Masada party with just all the men, right? Okay, so he tricked Asar to try out the coffin. He told anybody can fit the coffin and get to keep it. Who the hell customizes coffins and made to a party? So, okay, and everybody tried it out. Free coffin, what the hell? Nobody could fit. When Asar got in it, oh man, perfect fit. He said, yeah, my brother. Bam, slammed it down, nailed it down. He had 72 co-conspirators, so he wasn't by himself. Oh, he had help. So they got Asar, threw him in the box, and they sealed it up with mercury and put him in the Nile River. Asar suffocated and died, the physical body. Okay, so he goes down in the river, he goes get lodged in Syria. Long story short, the king's in the tree. He grew into a tree from the coffin, and this is how we get what they call the Jed pillow. Now, he took the throne through trickery. Set was able to get Asar. Yeah, I went to that. He put him in the Nile River. So the coffin made its way down the coast of Syria, where it became embodied in the earth, and where it grew to a tree, where it had the most pleasant aroma. The fragrance was so good, and it formed what they call a Jed, the spinal columns, up and down. The Jedi warriors, this is where it comes from. The Jed is a symbol of Asar's back. It has 4 horizontal lines. In Masonic order, the first 3 degrees is the blue house. When they tell you at 3 degrees, you become a master mason, you know yourself, you know of yourself. So they also tell you, unless you get the other 4 degrees, it's 7 degrees to become a master mason. Okay, 3 degrees, you ain't in the ballpark. Okay, you just ignorant. Oh, I'm a master. Yeah. But the 4 degrees come from here, right here, Asar, backbone. And watch this. It's the column and it's symbolic of the upper horizontal lines related to the chakra system. And Masonic follows the chakra system with the degrees, 7 of them, that relate to the levels of consciousness, intellect of the spirit self. And the scales, you see the scales of Maya and the chakras. I got that coming for you next lesson. But right here shows you. Right here. This top 4, this is called the Jed. This is the conscious level of the chakras. At 3, I'm going to eat from 3 down. 4 means you have compassion. You start to have empathy for others. You care about somebody other than yourself. At 3, it's all ego-based, so it don't make it. Give you that lesson also. I just showed you a picture of the Jed pillar at the back of a saw, okay? And it symbolizes the upper steps of your spiritual development, aka high levels and degrees of masonry, the red house, okay, or Rosicrucians. Secret occult orders have rules that they follow, and this is part of it, and they're using this as a tool, okay? Your higher energy centers are the chakras. If you in the chakra, you'll understand. And the 4 to 7 located in the spine of the spiritual body, meaning from the back up to the neck. So the king of Syria walked through the body, he reached the this the fluff. I can't do the fluff. And most importantly, they I ain't doing that. So upon returning command, long story short, Aset went down there to Syria, told the king the story. He gave him the saw back. She brought him back home. And Aset went to the papyrus swamps, where she laid over the body and conceived a son. Heru, that's the spirit from the actual spirit, Asar, connected with intuitive knowledge, wisdom, represented by Aset. He impregnates her, and offspring is Heru, the spirit that's in me and you, the aspirants who aspire to be themselves, to go back home to their father, to meet with their dad again in the afterlife forever. But you have to know who you are to make that happen. So Heru is you, mastering yourself while on earth. You're born a kid, a little baby, but then you grow. This is Heru, the 2 Herus. Heru Picard, when he a baby, learning about, see the headdress? He got the crown. He just ain't wearing it. Here he got a head. He got the princess lock. Okay, he got a human face. He don't know himself. He's innocent. He's ignorant right there. And at this point, Set can have his way with him, but his mother protected him until he got here. You see, he got the key of life. He got the ankh there. He got the staff of power, and he got his crown. But look what changed. You see that falcon headdress? Now he's the warrior. Okay, he's Heru, but that's another concept of Heru. He come in different form. He got a whole bunch of concepts. But that's who Heru was. From a kid, you grow into yourself. That's the potential you have to be your best self. And when you do that, when it's all said and done, you go back home. All right. So now, one evening, and upon returning command, she went to the papyrus swamp when she lived in the body. Okay, and she got assistance from Tahuti, the conscious, your mind, and Amun, the hidden one. She got the okay from them. So one evening, as Set was hunting in the papyrus swamps, he came upon Asar and Aset. And in a bitter rage of passion, he dismembered the body of Asar, cut him up, 14 pieces, several pieces, depending on who tells the story. Some will say 72, some will give you a whole bunch of different numbers. 14 is the number. All right. So he scattered the pieces throughout the land. And in this way, it was set the brute force of our body that's inside us, impulses and the desires that will dismember your higher intellect. It don't care. It don't give a damn about God. It don't care about the spirit. Oh, sorry, he written him a new one. And instead, but he wants to be him. Remember, the ego wants to be in charge. So instead of oneness, being one, unity, unite, no. Set the ego will see multiplicity and separateness, which give rise to what? The ego, selfish, and the violent behavior that comes with the ego. And you already know what he do. So the great mother, Aset, once again, set out in search now for what? The pieces of her dead husband, with the help of Anpu, which is his son, Anubis, and Netet, which is his side chick. Look at it, okay? Frankie, back that day we had Frankie Croc, the DJ. They say Frankie Croc in the house, he can get 2 pieces. Fellas, everybody's dream to have what? 2 women, right? Yeah, it's ego. That's ego. That's all ego. But when you pull it off, you ever had twins? Asar had twins. I did too. So, I was Asar. All right, what? After searching, she found the body and put them back together, except for what? The phallus. So here's when she made the first dildo, okay? Which was eaten by the fish. In the Eastern Hindu Tantra mythology, their god Shiva, also equivalent to Asar, what? Lost his phallus too. In the Egyptian and Hindu Tantra mythology, the loss of the penis represents seminal retention. Semen retention means when you don't, for every month, man, we get a new charge of semen. If we don't squander it, waste it, having sex, masturbate, it stays and become what? Energy, life-giving. Did you know that? Okay, I did it for a year and a half. All right, but that's called semen retention. They show you it ain't about the physical, that part. No, you can't do that. Okay, so in order to channel your sexual energy, which is the strongest energy we got, that's why we let it go, we give it away, waste it. Why? We just want to get rid of it. Keep it inside and you add years to your life. That's why you got monks and monasteries and priests. They live, why? They don't waste their sexual energy. So he wasted his, he died young. But in your higher spiritual, you can, in order to channel your sexual energy to your higher spiritual centers, raising the Kundalini, thereby transforming it into what we call spiritual energy. You know what that is? Life. Years on your life. Added life. Aset, Apu, and Netet, they all remembered the pieces, all except the phallus, which was eaten by the fish. So Asar thus regained life, what? In the realm of the dead. Physical dead is dead, but the spiritual lives on forever. That's where it goes to be with Asar in that realm of eternity. Wrap it up. Good mothers. Heru, so therefore, he was born from the union, just like Anpu, discernment, was born from spirit and mortality. Now, Heru, you the spirit, is born from spirit and intuitive wisdom, knowledge of our set. That's who we are. We aspiring spiritual beings who want to know who we are. Why? So we can go home and meet with our fathers. Okay, so Heru then is born from the union of spirit, of Asar, life-giving power, of Aset, the physical nature. Thus, Heru really represents the union of what? Spirit and matter. That's us in flesh. And a renewed life of Asar, his rebirth in us, the Father, the Son, okay? When Heru becomes a young man, I showed you the picture, Asar encouraged him. In every story, the son gets a visit from his father, and he told him in his dream to take arms up against who? Your evil uncle. That means get vitality, learn wisdom, and have the courage and gain the strength and will courage to take him out. And all that should be established on truth, love, justice, and righteousness, a.k.a. sound like Mayat, in the world by challenging Set, and who was the current leader. Right now, we got an evil leader. Somebody got to take him out. Somebody who's going to exhibit what? Righteousness, justice, so the people get behind him and do what they got to do. Moving on. It's never changed. It's always the same story. Just the people change. The story stays the same. This story been going on forever. The longest story ever told. That's why. Okay, wrapping up with this one. You got to take note that the concept, again, let me break this down right quick. I'm glad I ended up with this. The concept of the virgin birth existed many thousands of years before the recorded history and always signified what we call the second birth, born again, resurrection into what? Consciousness, spiritual enlightenment, which all human beings may achieve. How? Through spiritual practices of the spiritual disciplines and with spiritual advancement. Get better, learn things, and inquire knowledge of self. And this is what we call the universal truth. It ain't for one particular group of people or chosen people. No, it's a universal truth. And also evident in what? The virgin birth of Jesus. Hello. Y'all didn't create that. Again, the virgin birth of Krishna. We had the virgin birth of Buddha. There was a virgin birth of Quetzalcoatl. Okay, all over the world, it's been a virgin birth. And many others, male and even female saviors. Did you know that you had female messiahs? Oh, really? Yeah, they don't tell you that. Listen to somebody who's going to tell you the truth, not a whole bunch of stuff that they just want you to believe in. In many cultures all over the world, it's been there throughout the world again. Therefore, the Savior of our spirit is none other than what? Our true self. That's how you save you. A Savior ain't coming. You got to become your own Savior to save you, a.k.a. know thyself. Study and learn who you are, and you'll be fine. Why? That's how you get to the afterlife. Anything else, you'll be back here again. Go to the light. No, don't go to the light. All right? But in closing, I had fun giving this lesson. I got the other one, the Battle of Heru and Set. I gave you it before. It's part of the lesson, so I'm going to give it to you again. I'll be right back with that. But right now, I got to go. Hey, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, me 100 miles a day. So I've never known that my right thinkers who understand now what we did here. The title was The Asarian Resurrection and the story of Heru and Set. I'm about to come up with that story because it's so long. I had to break it in 2 parts. But I'll be right back. I appreciate you tuning in, though.